Absolutely. So I found out about this work and what you do and talking about with the fascial connection through social media, through Instagram, through following your handle, and I thought it was very educational. I thought it was very helpful, and it just started to make sense. And then for us, we just kind of evaluated, and we're running into problems with plantar fasciitis, as well as we started to just try to do some basic kind of strengthening exercises. I wouldn't call it lifting weights, but strengthening exercises, and noticing that, we were kind of going backwards instead of forwards. We were getting slower, still having the plantar fasciitis was a problem. No matter what we tried, mainstream thing that we tried to fix it, it didn't make it any better. And so for almost a year, I think Nolan was fighting through that. And then for me, it just kind of made sense with just some of the scientific findings you have, as well as just understanding your connection to the ground. And if your foundation is not solid and strong, then the whole rest of the chain reaction, the whole rest of the kind of overcompensations your body's going to make, all when you're kind of piecing all that all together, it just made sense why, things were not, he was in pain with his plantar fasciitis, and he was losing his agility and his speed. And so then we started the program, and, the first couple of weeks, we had to work through a lot of the kind of fascial adhesions. And then a few weeks in, we started to notice a big difference. And what kind of blew my mind was, while we were strengthening the fascial connection in the feet, his biomechanics of his running form started to improve on their own. So it's really kind of getting to a root cause problem. I felt like we were finally addressing the root cause problem, and his plantar fasciitis pain was going away. And then within a few more weeks, he was starting to run and express the agility that he once had before his injury. And we were just working on strengthening this connection. So for me, that was kind of a big game changer, and just became a big believer through our experience, and just couldn't be more thankful and couldn't be more appreciative, and glad we took the jump to try this, because you don't hear a lot about it in mainstream. So but I thought it was really helpful, just the way you explain things, how you kind of back it up with some science and data. How there's a lot of other folks who had similar issues, and we can definitely attest, and I have video proof of the improvements in his running form and in his speed. Before, when he had his plantar fasciitis, he was heel striking on just his left foot, and that went completely away. And just kind of blows my mind how the body kind of self heals. And so through the fascial strengthening and connection that we were able to establish, his body just started to move naturally again. So we didn't need to we were doing nothing, no other type of biomechanical running fixes. And so that was really cool to see. And then I think too, just his stamina and his running form, just improvement there. And, everybody talks about, and I think what everybody strives for is using your glutes, using your core, right? Especially for athletic actions. And if you're not using those things, then you're going to compensate and fatigue earlier, not be as athletic. And so this allowed us to activate that. And I'm really excited for just continuing working on it, and a big believer, and would absolutely advocate for anybody looking at it to definitely explore it. I think this is a missing link, and something that's missed in mainstream, which is not surprising, considering there's a lot of things missing in mainstream in the world today. But
Yes.
this is just one of those things, I think, for me, in our experience, and what happened with Nolan, we're proof of an improvement we've seen. And he's young, he's only 10, but we're hoping that this is a firm foundation we're giving him to help further down the line, so we could hopefully help with injury prevention, and just continue to build off his speed and agility, and the gift that God gave him. So is there anything that you want to add to that?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So talk about Nolan, how you felt when you did the elevated tall crawls in week 1? What did you feel back then?
I definitely felt it. It hurt a lot in my quads because I was quad dominant, but it definitely hurt like a lot. And then once I started to do it more, towards like week 5 and week 6, I could start to feel it in my glutes.
Right,
And even now I feel it so much in my glutes.
right. Yeah, so that's the importance of this fascial connection, because without this fascial connection, the body, it becomes more segmented. But if we enhance it, you can actually use your glutes more. Now, the biggest difference is that you're in the upright position, not in the hinge position, right? Like I'm not asking you to do hip bridges. I'm not asking you to do like just squat or deadlift and those type of things. However, these are in-game positions. So we need to fire the glutes up in those positions. So this is the biggest difference. Yeah, I'm very happy that you did the consistent work. Congratulations to finishing, the program. And we're gonna measure those data that we had before, and we're gonna see how much you improved. So this is really good. I know this is not easy because for kids, this type of work, a lot of mental stuff, a lot of mind stuff, right? It's very challenging for
Very
young
challenging.
kids.
Yeah.
But if you have high goals and aspirations for yourself, it really sets that foundation. Oh, when I was 10, I already did meditation. That's something very different.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was challenging. It wasn't it wasn't just muscular. It was, you know, just the neuro connections, just the mental side of it was a big component. And that's another thing that I think gets missed, that you don't really train that, but that's a whole connective body approach, because that's how your body works, right? So it was pretty cool to see that as part of the training. And I felt like it just made a lot of sense. And we just saw results and improvement. So, we're very thankful.